Alright everyone, you got to admire Tim Cook a little bit because he basically just cock-blocked Mark Zuckerberg and fucked Facebook in the ass epically. Because you got to understand, increasingly people connect to the internet more on phones than they do like this with a laptop or something. Those are still popular for business class and gaming purposes, but a lot of times there are people now that don't even have a desktop or something unless they do gaming. Computers have become gaming platforms, and phones have become computers. And phones are also cameras, and sometimes people even use it to make phone calls. That's now an uncommon feature because messaging services are so much better than they were a decade ago. So keep in mind, Apple is one of 3 companies that basically supplies all of the devices that people connect to the internet with. When Tim Cook therefore says, well, we're going to build in proprietary software that blocks the kind of data gathering that Facebook makes all of its money from, oops, that's going to hurt, because a lot of the Facebook and Instagram users that are getting their data gathered by Mark Zuckerberg now will not get it gathered anymore. This is the most epic backstabbing in, I think, modern computing history. I support it. I think it's a wonderful idea. However, I would like to posit something. If you believe that Crapple, which literally employs child slaves in China, getting the minerals and shit for its phones from slave labor, sometimes even in North Korea, by the way, they sub-own through China. The Chinese buy the discounted minerals and then they flip them at a slight profit. If you think that Tim Cook, this massively wealthy cutthroat billionaire, is doing this because he cares about people's privacy, then you don't know anything about his kind of mentality. This is a business move. When corporations make major changes, it is always because of money. If not directly, indirectly. The fact is that this helps Apple's brand loyalty. It backstabs a technical competitor. Facebook isn't competing for phone supremacy or anything like that. However, it could force Facebook to pony up money to Apple for the same data. Apple will still gather your data. The idea that everything will be end-to-end encrypted and we're going to fight the government with the little people. Oh, come on. That's going to happen. Because Apple is really going to defend you and your Fourth Amendment rights against Uncle Sam and risk getting fucked in the ass by all the other billionaires. That's just not going to happen. They don't care about your privacy, but it is funny to see Zuckerberg get worried. Oh, half of his income will dry up. That data gathering, do you think that Facebook pulls a profit off of advertisements? No, the only reason ads even go on there is because of that micro-targeting, because of user data. If they can't access that user data, then it's going to be a big problem. Now, can Zuckerberg find a workaround? Yeah, probably. He'll probably figure out a way to do that. But it'll be harder. It'll force him to work harder, and seeing Zuckerberg get backstabbed by Tim Cook is pretty funny. Who's richer, by the way? Who's worth more money? I know Apple's bigger than Facebook, but then Zuckerberg also has Instagram and a bunch of others. So WhatsApp, isn't that owned by Zuckerberg? They're going after him for having a vertical monopoly for a reason. Google as well. Apple does. Apple and Google own basically 90% of the phone market or some insane amount. It's a duopoly. It should be illegal. That being said, it's going to be very, very funny to see how Zuckerberg is forced to react here. And then it's even doubly bad for Facebook because then he has to look like he's grifting after people's user data in direct contravention even of other rich people getting worried about the amount that's being gathered. But keep in mind, your Apple device spies on you all day anyway. Apple just doesn't want Facebook to have that data or Instagram. They don't want Zuckerberg having it unless he pays them. They want to make him pay. It's like AdBlock Plus is no longer on its own enough because they have green lighting for certain ads that they've been paid off in order to unblock them. So AdBlock Plus is still good, but it's not enough. I use uBlock as well, and you can also use NoScript. Keep that in mind. By the way, use demainstream YouTube, archive.today, use that for every news link. Never send me news tips without archiving them, please, first, because I don't want to give them any clicks, any traffic directly. Archive.today must have grown massively because it had a lot of downtime for a few days, and I think they must have hooked up new servers or something. I think they had to have because of the order of magnitude more people trying to screw the mainstream media. So I like this. It's good when billionaires actually at least pretend to hate one another. I think that it's a good time. That's about all. Peace out.